Hi team, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about one more topic on team collaboration. Um, so I will quickly move into the topics. So in the team, when you're a manager or when you're part of the team, you see that we have a different type of teams. Not not talking about the how many members of the team, but today I'm talking about the types of the teams. So if you see that in any uh, company organization, we see that in a project, in a study, in a project, we see different types. So I have given four simple examples here. Department managers, we see that there are a lot of departments or functions within the study. They have operational heads, and also we see that the second one, the supporting team. So every department manager will have their supporting team or backup team. So this backup team mainly communicates all important activities to the other team members in each department, and follow-ups, matrix, sharing the new updates, all the communication they make, the supporting team. And the third type, what I've shown as an example is system owners, because every study has different systems. Either it can be any IT, constructions, or clinical trials, anything. Everyone has systems, a lot of systems nowadays, and also a lot of you know artificial intelligence, machine learning types. And you see, they every system has a owner who provides systems access, or who looks after the matrix where properly reflecting in the system or not. And also they pull the report and look into the matrix, what is going right, what is going wrong, and where the gaps, they usually communicate with all other team members. Sometimes also we see that they also do that data analysis. um, okay, and the fourth one is middle managers, and also the on-site managers. Okay, that means the managers who are spread across other regions, other states, who mainly communicates important things like hands-on work, who does the main work, who goes onto the ground and do the practical things. Okay, and who, that means example, who don't take the decisions. They usually take the decisions from approvals from the department manager, and they carry on the work that they get or the guidance that they get from the department manager. So these are the four examples I have given here. Okay, so how this, so how do we look into the how these different types are collaborating each other? So don't worry about this map, it is really horrible, but I have you know thought how to draw it, and simply try to make it very easy, but it came horrible. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, how this four types are has to collaborate. How I look into how they're collaborating. Okay, so the department's heads also need to collaborate. The first point here, first what I look, as a team member, whether all the departments, different departments heads, they communicate each other or not, what is happening in their area, and what are the risks and the issues, what are the developments, and what are the new opportunities, so things like that. So I look into that, whether each department's heads are discussing and collaborating with each other is very very important. And also, when you know any information they receive, the department managers who receive the new updates from the client, and whether those information is immediately passed to the supporting team, so their backup teams, that I look into it. And whether every information is passed on time, or whether there is any delays. And again, so that is the second point that I see, whether the department managers communication is passing to the supporting team on time or not there is any delay, and whether there is any email communication, or whether there is any meetings, and how effective this communication is, or just simply they're sending any simple email, the email is which is not very clear, or you know or they have not provided complete information. So that those things we need to look into that. whether the everything is passing properly or not. And again, the system, if you see that I have given a third importance to the system owners and data analysis team, because they has to provide all the updates what is happening in the system, how the system is reflecting, because the system, the ones which has all the data and pulls all the data and do analysis and reflects, it shows the mirror of the study, how the studies are ongoing, and whether the matrix or the updates or whatever the progress of the project is meeting the agreement that or the contract that we have with the clients. So all this kind of analysis are done by the data analysis, or just an example, or the system owners. So I'll see that all this information is equally passed to mainly with the department managers and supporting teams. Okay. And also, if you see that you know uh, the that the fifth point we'll discuss later. So all this communication is passing between the system owners or equally, there's no gaps. And the fourth point, if you see here, I have put so many arrows, but one arrow here from the department manager to the middle managers. But I put here, the supporting team, so many communication. That means the communication has to be more frequent between the middle managers or the and the the supporting team who is working closely with the department heads. Okay, it is, see, this is just an example. Maybe your organization have a different flow communications, or they have a different team chart. So you have to look into that, supporting team, because the departments heads are very very busy. They have other important activities. They communicate to their supporting team what need to be communicated to the across other departments or other team members or the team, like the middle managers who are placed or who is working on a different regions, to have some frequent meetings, so they pass all the information to the supporting teams. Okay, so that need to be more frequent here. Frequent communication need to be done. And also, then then I'll see the fifth one, whether the supporting team is also providing the feedback to the you know to the system owners, and also the department heads. So you see that, if you see, I have tried to make it back and forth. So the communication is going from one team to other team, the same thing, they're giving the feedback. Now whether the departments head, they're giving the feedback to the teams they are working, the how the systems are working, whether the matrix is has a reality. Sometimes the matrix systems are not up to date, and systems may reflect the data which is like 1 month or 2 weeks old, and which is not meeting the reality. So that kind of feedback, whether they provided to the system owners, so the system owners can look into the issues why the systems are lagging, so they can have more effective metrics, coming up with the presentations in the next time, or they can upgrade their systems or ramp up the process, bring more developments and more process improvement into the systems. Okay. And and also, if you see the sixth point, okay, it's not always, yeah, now, for like I said, in my previous uh, video, the previous video, if you see here, that is also still here, organization chart. Okay, this is one example. So here I will also look into that, maybe organization chart or the study plans, the project plans may be telling that the communication is has to go from 1 to 2, okay, and 2 to here, 2 to 4. Okay, this is what maybe they have mentioned, and everyone was trained. So if it is acceptable, if as a manager or a part of the team member thinks that additional a path could also help more collaborative, then I will also suggest, it's not only that the routine plan, Also, I'll ask department heads at least meet once in a month or communicate directly to the middle managers. Maybe they can meet once in a month with a short call, or 1 month, what is happening, what is the status, appreciate them for their hard work. So those kind of and additional paths can also be built to have more collaborative, more effective teamwork. Okay, so look into that, because when it may be manager or it may be team member, the only think on one direction, department heads, what they're saying. They, sometimes, for example, I see that some department heads come back and say, a lot of work for me, too much of work, I'm not able to complete, and or I'm not receiving enough support, or I don't have a lot of work, but the timeline is very short. So when they say that, I also look into this, whether the department head is receiving proper support from his backend team and also system owners, middle managers, or whether he's really know how to uh, whether he is good in team management, or also, we need to look into that. Sometimes the person may be very good in technical, very good in some applications, and some kind of a software. That is fine, but at the same time we should also look into that, whether the same person, for example department head, is also having good knowledge of the teamwork and the collaboration, whether he knows how to use the team more effectively. So I give some tips. Now, why can't you? What is the problem? Where is the gaps? Are you receiving support from the backend teams? Are you receiving proper support from the data analytics, or from the middle managers? What is the issue? So I look into that. Now, then we can come to a conclusion whether the workload and the time is not sufficient. Then we can go back to the client and request for the more time. That's all happening. Okay. And so, how do I check? We are very busy with everyday project activities, escalations, issues, risk, and finance, and new system applications, new process, lot of system upgrades is keep happening, and a lot of ad hoc work we have. Okay, single email or single escalation from the client can also ruin our complete day, to respond to them and to work on those escalations. Okay, so how do I check? You know, so when such a busy schedule, when you have such a busy or completely packed schedule agenda, so you can keep maybe in the first week you can look into the first and two communication pathways. I ask department heads every week, every month I ask, are you communicating with your supporting team? Are you passing the information? Are you having calls with them? Are you preparing any slides for them? Are you designing any design any agenda for them, like what kind of topics to be discussed, and whether you receive any feedback from them. Are you preparing any report? Are you preparing any slides while talking to them or meeting to them, or just a casual meets? I check all these things. So in the second week, I check for the different paths. Though I have my own standard agenda, but also I look into this at the end of the meeting, whether the communication, how the communication is going, 3 and 4, and again third week, I take some time and also look into the communication between 5 and 6, and in the fourth week, if something is required, we repeat the same step, or if you find any gaps, we discuss about it, and I definitely, as a team, as a manager, I have some team members whom I can trust. I can call them anytime. I can trust, and it's there everywhere. You know, uh, there are some team members who are really loyal to us, and I talk to them. The fourth week, what's happening? What's the problem? How is the communication is passing? Where do you think that development is required? And how to handle the client. So things like that I keep discussing. I keep have this more frequency. Okay, so look into that. Look into that. This is just an example. So you can look into your organization types of the teams, and how the communication is passing between them, and how to monitor them. Where there is a gaps. But if you fill this, definitely you see good improvement and more effective work in 2 months. The development happens from third month or second. By end of the second month, it happens. Okay. So we will meet again next time. with one more new topic. And yeah, thanks so much for watching and enjoy.